Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. Welcome to another Snap Judgment Review. What is a Snap Judgment Review if you've never watched before? Well, I think that game reviewers nowadays get a little too concerned with 100%ing or almost getting to the end of the game. They kind of forget what it's like to just boot up and play it for the first time. So I do about 5 to 10 hours with the game. I'm trying to give you an idea whether you're going to enjoy it right off the bat or not. That, coupled with the fact that I think games are one of the most subjective forms of art, this will not be a scored review. Instead, I will give you an overview of what the game is. I'll list out the pros and the cons that are my opinion, as all reviews are, and then I will tell you whether or not I will be sticking with the game outside the purposes of this review. What am I reviewing today? I am trying to review a mobile game. As I am recording this audio, I am not quite sure how to actually record it off my phone and get it on there. I guess old man brain. But I may just rip some gameplay from the internet. I'm playing Castles, the Elder Scrolls Castles on mobile phone. This is the follow-up to Fallout Shelter. That a lot of people have been waiting for. And yeah, let's get into the overview. So again, this is a mobile game, purely mobile. You can't play it on the PC, which actually kind of bummed me out. I tried this on a whim, and I am really enjoying it. We'll get into that. But what is it? Well, you kind of see this side view of like stacked rooms, like 2D, but like 3D in a 2D space kind of thing. That's your castle. You slowly build up your castle, you add rooms to it to give you certain things, and then you have subjects that you have to manage. They come to you regularly with rulings that you have to make decisions on. You have to kind of collect the resources every so often, and then you build stuff, different clothes, equipment, weapons, stuff like that, to outfit your people inside. And then once you get far enough on, you can actually send them out on adventures to actually fight things and kind of claim the land, sort of thing. So yeah, the game starts off pretty simply. There is a character there already who's been on the throne for 30 years. He is not a great dude. He's cheating on his wife. He gets assassinated. Nobody knows who assassinated him. And you then get to pick who the first ruler is, whether it's his best friend, the mistress, or the wife that he had. And then I think maybe his heir. I think you get like 4 choices of your first king. And I picked the friend, the Redguard friend, and I think that's procedurally generated, but I don't want to say quote me on that because I haven't played 2 different games of it. And I know definitely a lot of these characters have names from like Skyrim and stuff, so not all of them are procedurally generated, without a doubt. So then you just start ruling. You start slowly building your castle up, slowly adding rooms and whatnot. One of the interesting things to get more people is there is a room that allows you to marry 2 of your subjects, and then it allows those 2 subjects to go into another room that once you get it called the bedroom, and then they make a baby, and then that slowly, then they will just play around your castle until they kind of get old enough. As far as time goes, every day is 1 year in the kingdom. So say I've been playing for 12 days. I am 12 years in. Now there is a store item that you do also get on occasion called the Arcane Hourglass that just advances everything by a year. But overall, every day is a year in the game. And then you're just trying to like keep your king alive and make your people happy and keep everything going. That's it. I mean, I don't know what else. There is some nuance to this game, but it's definitely a mobile game, so it's very simple and straightforward. So I think I want to just get into the pros and cons of this one, because I think that's where the meat and potatoes lie. So we always go positive first. We're gonna go to pros, and my first and biggest pro is you kind of decide your level of involvement, and no matter what, it kind of works. Like, don't get me wrong, if you never play this game, I'm gonna guess that your castle's gonna fall into disrepair. However, there have been days that I've only gotten like 2 or 3 times to just jump in and check what's going on. And then there's other days where I was smoking on the porch and I sat there and I played it for 30 minutes straight. Both were fun. Both were awesome. And I didn't feel like I was missing out when I wasn't playing a ton. And I didn't feel bored when I was playing a ton. The thing that I really like about this, and I'll add this in to this thing, is the fishbowl quality to it. You have these characters that are just moving around this space, and they'll talk to each other, they'll play with their kids, they'll hug their loved ones if they run into their loved ones. They'll have entire conversations with each other, and I just love that aspect of it. Even when I'm not clicking mindlessly to collect the resources in this game, you're just like watching a bunch of people live in the game and trying to keep them alive. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoy that. It's very like... what this game made me feel like is 4X light. And yes, you guys have all seen me do 4X. And I know that a lot of people would say, no, it's more like The Sims. I understand where you're coming from on that. I would say it's more 4X light. It's just resource management while you're kind of building a kingdom from scratch. And I really enjoy it. It's very peaceful, like I said, when I'm having a pipe outside, or and I never feel like I'm overwhelmed. Like if I don't go in there today, it's all gonna be to shit, you know? Which a lot of mobile games like that. They like that pressure on your head where it's like, if he doesn't play it, if you don't play it, everybody will die, you know? Like, I don't get that with this. I just don't. I mean, there's definitely dailies that you'll miss out on, and there's definitely events that you'll miss out on, but even missing out on them, I never felt like, oh, there's going to be another one. I never felt like that pressure, I guess. My next one is the decision process. So like I said, you're making rulings, right? And every time somebody comes to you, you click a little thing on the screen, and then it flips over and it gives you a choice of what you want to do. And some of them will be give up resources, some of them will be get resources, but it'll be piss people off. And like every character has a morale, and those morales are also influenced by their species relations, so to speak. So like Argonians, if you make a ruling like, I'm gonna tax all the Argonians out there, all the Argonians get mad at you. And like that's something that I really like. You really have to consider how your people are going to react to whatever you give. What I also loved about this is there are these decisions that are like ongoing stories. Like there was one where goblins were attacking one of my outskirts cities. So I had the choice of ignoring it, sending in a war party, or putting a bounty on their heads. I sent in a war party, and then they basically come back and they're like, the war party's ready. Where should you send them? And then it gives you a choice of 3 places to go. So I went to this one place. It turns out the goblins were there. They fought. The goblins left. Now the goblins have nested in a neighboring kingdom, and that kingdom's upset that I pushed the goblins out. And so I sent them money to help. And this is over the course of like all 12 days I've been playing it, like just different times. I really enjoy that. I enjoy the idea that there's even some quest that like, there was one quest that like, if you capture these smugglers, they're wizards and they promise to curse you. So you can either let them go or capture them, and if you capture them, you actually get cursed, and you have to do a bunch of in-game challenges to break the curse. I think stuff like that is really interesting. Like, my consequences felt weighty here, and like I said, this is a mobile game, but my decisions felt weighty, very weighty, and they weren't just random things barfed at me. They were interesting ideas, interesting story elements that slowly told themselves over time. And I like that kind of essence in my mobile game. I like how they put that in while still keeping it kind of casual. My next and probably final pro is the adventuring. So like I said, you can outfit your characters with weaponry and armor, as well as tools and stuff for whatever trades they're doing. That weaponry and armor you then take out into the adventuring field, which is this kind of quest line. And it just kind of turns into an auto battler when you're out there. There's kind of like a rock, scissors, paper, battle axe, daggers, bows, swords thing, and then they all have an ability that charges over time, and you just tap it, and otherwise they just attack whoever. I don't hate this. I like that. I'm not a huge auto battler guy, but I like that, like, once all my decisions and resources are collected in the castle, I can then go out into the adventuring world and do like 3 or 4 adventures until my adventures are hurt, and then bring them home, and then I got stuff to do at the castle. So like, if I am just sitting there and playing this game on my phone, there is like a constant string of little things to do. You also only make money from like completing orders. The orders are selling stuff to the other kingdoms, which I thought was really cool. Like, your economy comes from like making daggers and making stuff and then selling them out. You don't just get gold. Like, you get some gold, but like overall you're like, the game is based on your economy, and I thought that was really cool. All right, so keeping things going, we're gonna switch to cons. I think my biggest con is there is this kind of like lack of like, so like the characters feel like characters, I'll say that. Some of them hate you, some of them become enemies with you. You definitely have things like, you can flip the card and you can see like who they're married to, who their lover is, who their friends are, who their enemies are, who their kids are. The only thing, and they do interact with each other. Like I said, if they're working with a friend, they'll tell jokes to them. If they're working with a loved one, they'll tell them they love them every once in a while and give them a hug. If they meet their kids in the hallway, they'll play with them a little bit. The only thing I'll say is they don't take it upon themselves to get involved in other things. Like, so accidentally. So the only way they basically make kids is you put them both in a room that you make the bedroom, which is creepy to start because it's just a bedroom. It's one bedroom in the entire castle and everybody goes there. It's very creepy. Nonetheless, you put them in this bedroom, that's where they make the kids. I accidentally put a married lady with a single fellow in the bedroom, accidentally, thinking they were the two married ones. I got confused, and they made a baby, and now the original spouse and her won't like talk, and I can't get them to make a baby. I can't correct that situation, and it actually says her lover is this other person. So in that kind of situation, there's no way to make it better, which I think there should be if I like put them in a bedroom and let them talk it out, or I put them somewhere else and I'll let them talk it out. The other thing is, the characters never do this on their own, which they're people, they would. I mean, and just for everybody out there, it doesn't matter what kind of gender they are. Like, you could put two girls in there, they'll make a baby. It doesn't matter. The babies are generated based on, the new kids are generated based on the parents and what their traits are. There's no way to walk this back. And not only is there no way to walk this back, but they don't do it on their own, and I feel like they would. I feel like occasionally they would step out on each other. They would want divorces. There's no way to divorce in this game. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there should be some of those elements in here. Like, they could get a little bit more in depth with the social thing instead of, I choose two people, they're in love now. I choose two people, they make babies now. You know, I mean, when you're doing a game like this where you're kind of governing a nation, I think it would be cool to let, you know, people's actual emotional fragility kind of into the equation a little bit. And overall, they don't do that. They have traits. There are traits that like make them reckless, and there's one trait that where they're haunted and a ghost will chase them around every once in a while and stuff like that. But like, there is no like, they don't take it upon themselves to do any of the social things, which I feel like they would do the social things. Other than make enemies with each other, for some reason they will definitely start hating one another or become friends. I also noticed that what I really liked is anybody you put on an adventure together will, if you do it enough, they'll just become friends. Like, well, we survive fights together. My next and probably final con is the touch controls. They are fucking terrible. Look, here's the thing. Every one of the rooms in this, you can click on the room, then you can click on a little spot to assign characters to it. So much easier than dragging them and dropping them. But you can also drag and drop characters, right? You actually have to drag and drop every character outside who hasn't gained access to your castle. To like bring an outsider into your castle when they come to join, you have to actually click on them and drag them in and drop them. You can't assign them to anywhere. The drag and drop is infuriating. There's so many times when you're zooming out and you catch somebody and then you accidentally move them and you don't even realize it. I accidentally had one of my like mill workers just working in the kitchen for like days on end and did not realize, like, why am I not getting anything out of the mill? Oh, I see now, because I accidentally put this person in the damn kitchen. Like, stuff like that. And you just, every once in a while, you'll just notice, because there's a lot of guys. At this point, I have 60 people just walking around the castle at any point in time. So it'll be like, where is so-and-so? Why is this suddenly not less? So I've gotten in the habit of just checking my stuff every so often, and it's just infuriating that I have to do that because of the touchscreens. I wish there was no drag and drop. I wish they would just take drag and drop out. I use my fingers to zoom in and zoom out, and everything else I click on it with a finger, and I click on it to select it, and I click the assign button. Like the drag and drop character thing, it just makes it too easy to accidentally like flick somebody across your castle into a position they're not supposed to be in. And that's it. Look, honorable mention to the cons is the microtransaction stuff. Look, I'm not putting it on here because it's a mobile game. If anybody thought that this mobile game, this free-to-play mobile game wasn't going to have microtransactions, you're a lunatic. There's just no reason to put it on here. And also, I found the microtransactions to be relatively light. I mean, there's a couple of premium currencies, but they are very earnable. The gems come to you every so often, and like every event gives you Arvonium. As long as you do the event quest, you get quite a bit of it. So like, yes, you have to grind a little with that stuff, but it's still very forgiving and very generous on the premium currency. So I just didn't feel like it was worth mentioning. But there's definitely a premium currency market here. There's no ads in game, but you can select to watch an ad for a mystery gift, and if you log in every day, you get something, and there's packs that you open, and that gives you new villagers and gems and some gold and stuff, and like you earn those through the dailies, and like, hey, this is still a mobile game. This is still a mobile game, and that's why it's an honorable mention to the com. But again, I didn't put it in here because it's a mobile game. If you are opening your phone and downloading a game for free, you should expect this kind of shit in it at this point. So expect that kind of shit because it's in there, and it's a little bit annoying. Whether or not I'm gonna stick with it, yes, I am gonna stick with it. I am enjoying it quite a bit. Like I said, it's I do my Wordle in the morning. I do this stupid Bejeweled game for Microsoft points, and then after that, it's castles. I check in with castles in the morning when I'm waiting for Stella's bus. I check in with castles again when I'm waiting for the bus to get her off of it. And it is an extreme. And if my wife falls asleep on the couch, I'll pop it in. And I never feel like, again, I don't feel the pressure. At the same time, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. And they've really struck that balance, which is really interesting and cool. I like that. So, what do you guys think? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? You can let me know in the comments below. Just please stay cordial. And then, of course, you can reach us on Facebook at OldManGamingDH, on X at OldManGaming9. You can join our Discord, links in the description below, and influence us in all of our shows from there. As long as you guys keep watching and listening, I will endeavor to keep making them. I'll see you guys next time.